Back to some campaign missions. So this is USA Mission 2. And the only rule here is we can only use Burton. So all the other units that are given to us, all the general powers, all of that, we're not even going to touch it. We're just going to use Burton. So right now, we're going to garrison this building. We're going to take out the bunker. Now, we need to take out this bunker so we can get a little bit of EXP. So destroying those units plus the units guarding the depot, that's actually required for us to get to Vet 2 quickly. So that's why we're doing that. So we've got that out the way. Next thing we want to do is take out this bunker here. Now, the reason why we want to do that is because the trucks are going to follow that road to the depot. So we've got to take out the bunker so then the trucks don't get blown up. Now, with this bunker, I've got a bit of a pattern here. So with Colonel Burton, he normally does like a do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do when he fires. Obviously, when you vet him up, it's going to go do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. So I count it out. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back, heal, back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back out, heal, back in. So yeah, I had a bit of a rhythm going on when it comes to this bunker here.
Unit lost.
And sometimes it works, sometimes he would go into the red there. Now, as for the combat bikes, as you can see, my units are just taking it. See, that's the thing, because you can't touch the other units in this challenge. They're just going to fend for themselves, but they'll be fine. Once the Comanches arrive, a lot of the attacks that the GLA does won't really do much of anything. And also another thing is Colonel Burton's going to be pretty far into the GLA base by the time the GLA ramp up their attacks anyway.
Unit lost.
So now that that's out of the way, we need to get Colonel Burton to the oil derrick next. And meanwhile, back at main base, these guys are just gonna slowly but surely get picked off.
Unit lost.
See, the rocket guys, they're able to fight back, the Rangers not so much. And back at Burton, so we want to garrison one of these civilian buildings. Now to do that, we're going to do some mountain climbing. So that's one of the cool things about Burton is he can actually climb up and down mountains, and it's a lot easier for him to get from point A to point B compared to other units. Beautiful. So with this, there is a chance that you might get bad RNG and the rocket buggies and some combat bikes might get in the way. So I decided to take out the rocket buggies there. I was about to move on without taking out the bikes, but I was like, you know what, let's take out the bikes too, just in case they become trouble later on as I'm destroying the GLA base. And you don't have to destroy that tunnel network specifically, but I did it anyway, just cause. So with that, we're Vet 3, and we can move on to the next thing. The Stinger site that's about to fire on us, don't have to take it out, so we're just going to run past it and garrison the nearby building. So with this, you also got to keep in mind that there's some demo traps littered around the map, so we want to be careful and take a path that there's no demo traps. So I'm not too familiar when it comes to this map, so I was like, you know what, let's go for this path. It is nice and safe. It might take a little bit longer getting from A to B in terms of getting into the GLA base, but it's at least going to keep Burton alive. Now, I took some shots on the Stinger site to take out the guys, and then took a few shots on that tunnel network, and then we're going to go back to the Stinger site to finish it off. So that's the thing, while we wait on Colonel Burton to heal up, we can take out that Stinger site. It's just a little bit of a time saver there.
No obstacles.
Reinforcements incoming, General.
Beautiful. So back at the tunnel. So we're doing the same thing I was telling you about with the bunkers. So this time we're doing like 1, 2, 3 out. 1, 2, 3 out. Now with the tunnels, they tend to delay their shots on Colonel Burton, but there are times where it will fire on Burton immediately after Colonel Burton takes his shots. So you want to be careful of that. If they do fire immediately, you want to get him out as fast as possible.
Good job. All trucks are safely to the docks. Now let's get them to the city.
Where are we going?
So just like that, we've gotten the tunnel network into the red. Now, we don't have to wait for Burton to get to full health here because the tunnel network is very close to being destroyed. So then that way we can heal up a little bit whilst we're taking out the arms dealer. See, I went in maybe at about 3/4 health there. Now, while we destroy the GLA base, the next part of the mission is escorting the convoy to the warehouse. You don't need to do that. They can just drive themselves there. And that's the thing, because we took out one of those bunkers earlier on, they're able to get there safely. Now, as for Burton, we're taking out the arms dealers and the barracks, just getting rid of all the production. We don't want any technicals or buggies or any of that to get in the way. Now, taking shots on the Stinger just to take out the guys inside whilst we shoot down everything else. So that way there's no interference from the Stinger side.
Let's get to the action. Needs an attitude adjustment.
So now, while we wait, they've got a couple of scaffolds, but I decided to keep those scaffolds intact so then we can draw the workers to me. We want to take out all of the workers as fast as possible here, and then that way there's going to be no risk of them rebuilding whilst I move Burton outside the GLA base, because after we do take out the GLA base, there's still one more building that we've got to take out, and that's a barracks that's in the top left corner of the map. And that barracks, yes, I could have taken it out right at the beginning, but the workers would have just rebuilt it anyway, which meant I'd have to go from left to right and then back to the left again. So it wouldn't have helped. Now, as for the palace, again, taking out the guys in the Stinger, then going for the palace. Now, we want to keep the Stinger site intact so the tunnel network doesn't take shots on me. So that's why we did that. Again, take out the guys. This time around, we're just moving Burton out of the way of the other Stinger and go for that black market.
I'll be there. No obstacles. Let's get to the action.
And just like that, you've taken almost every building out of the equation except for the palace and the barracks that I mentioned earlier. So that's another thing. I kept that palace intact, so then we run back to that, and then we take the same way we came in to get out. And that way there's no risk of us hitting any demo traps on the way to the barracks. Climb down that mountain. Now, as you can see, because it's only a barracks there, the Pathfinders that we got back at main base, they're going to be able to pick off those guys no problem. So now it's just a matter of running Burton all the way over to the barracks, taking that out, and that's going to be mission 2 done. Now, with this video, I've put together missions 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the USA campaign. So there's going to be more to come. Don't click off just yet.
Let's get to the action. Come on, punk. Let's see what you got.
So that is USA Mission 2, only using Colonel Burton. And we got it done in 16 minutes, which is pretty much on par with a lot of like average Joe players that played this game. And we didn't build any units. That's my main staple challenge. Now, before we get into Mission 3, I just wanted to show you something real quick here. So with Colonel Burton, it only really takes you one move. If you get Colonel Burton to move to the mountainside, he'll move to the mountainside. Let me explain. So with this mission, the map collapses. So by clicking on the mountainside before the map collapses, Colonel Burton is going to go outside of bounds. And with that, he can get to the mountainside without you having to fulfill the mission objective of freeing the POWs from their camps. So just like that, and then watch the icon for Burton on the map here. See, he's gone way out of bounds, but eventually he will get to that mountainside, and that will end the mission. So we didn't have to destroy anything, nothing happened. It was perfect zeros all around. See? So I thought to myself, let's see if we can build up on this idea of making Colonel Burton a
General, Colonel
pacifist.
Burton and Black Lotus are
So
in
we can't lose any
Their
units.
primary objective
Burton is
the
only
secret
allowed to
laboratory.
attack
Its location
the
was
Tunnel
revealed
Network
by the
barracks
documents
and
accessed
Stinger
during
side
the last mission.
that is protecting the POWs. After that, he cannot take any more shots. Now,
Once she
as
has
for other
completed
units
the
that we
download,
have, we
Colonel
can use
Burton
those
must swing
guys
down the
however we
mountainside
like.
on the lab and
So,
bury it forever.
It's just him sneaking in, destroying those buildings, and then we're going to do a runner for the mountainside. So this is how we would do it legitimately.
What do you got? Where are we going? I'll take anything
All right,
you
I
give
see
me.
the POW camp. Looks like they have a tunnel network that passes under the river.
Let's take their buildings from them. Their building is ours.
Nice work, Lotus. Tunnel's down here. Just take care of a couple guards, and I'll have everyone
Colonel
free.
Burton here. I'll be there. This
Now
is
that the
too
cutscene's
easy.
over, Colonel Burton's going to
Let's
attack
see
this
what
tunnel
you got.
network. If you attack it on a certain angle, the tunnel can't actually attack you, so we're able to get rid of that, no problem. We take a little bit of damage from the infantry, but that's no problem there. Now, Colonel Burton, we can move him in and take out the barracks and the Stinger site next. As for the sentry drones, we moved them in a little bit closer. I was hoping to take out 1 or 2 guys from the GLA side, and we managed to take out 1 guy. So here we go. That is the only contribution they made to this mission. Now, if you're wondering, we moved those sentry drones to the water in the first place just because there are radar vans on this map, and they do eventually patrol the starting area of the map, so you want to move those guys away, especially if your challenge is not losing any units. So with these guys, again, they're just going to chill out. Not really going to do anything else with those guys.
Deadly efficient. This
Now,
is
as for
too
Burton,
Our Colonel Burton
we just got to take out the Stinger, and then that frees the POWs. But yeah, I decided to wait on the infantry that's closer to the water. I want to make sure they're in a decent position, so then my sniper and rangers can get to them more easily.
Congratulations, General.
So Pathfinder's garrisoning the building.
Happy to hear it.
Went for rocket troopers and rangers inside the building, but also rangers have got the flashbang, so they're able to pick off some of the other units too. And Sniper is not within range of that 1 guy there, so I did take the risk of getting the rangers to pick off that 1 rocket trooper there, and then getting him back into the POW camp.
Army's elite.
So since there's 12 units, I can't get everyone inside the building to garrison it, so we're just going to get those last 2 rangers, and then we're just going to put them off to the side. Basically, if the GLA can break through my garrison building, they would be able to get to those 2 guys, or if they went around, they could get to them, but I don't think the GLA is that smart. Now, as for these 2 bikes, that's annoying. I tried to go with the evac plan, so evac can go back in, that draws them a little bit closer to home, and these tank traps are getting in the way here, so we get rid of those, and then hopefully that's enough to get to the bikes, which thankfully it was,
Congratulations,
and we're able to move on with Colonel Burton. So Colonel Burton, again, we're not going to shoot anything, we're just going to run from here to the mountainside,
No obstacles.
and it's a lot harder than you would
Take
think.
anything you give me.
So with Burton, we climb down this little mountain here, and you got to be aware of 1, the base defenses, and 2, the radar vans,
Where are we going?
because either one of those things can reveal Burton, and if there's technicals or combat bikes nearby, then it's going to be big trouble. So this is when Colonel Burton wasn't really listening to me. I was trying to get him down this little mountain here. He was going so close to that tunnel network there. Eventually we got it, but if I had that little bit of extra free time, I wouldn't have had to worry about the radar van and those 2 combat bikes there. So
Your
now we're
forces
just doing a
close,
runner.
They will be detected.
I'll take anything you
Using the oil derricks as, you know, just a way to block those combat bikes there. So get very close. Again, another tunnel that's gonna potentially reveal Burton. Thankfully though, we got away.
No obstacles.
And back at the POW camp, no one has died. The sentry drones are fine. So we haven't lost any units from that one. And as for Burton, we don't have to worry about the tunnel network either. As long as you get him to that mountainside, the cutscene will play and then he'll be able to set off his explosives and the lab will be destroyed. And that is how we did USA Mission 2 using a pacifist Burton, destroying the least amount of things possible with him, and we didn't lose any units too. Alrighty, USA Mission 4. Same thing as USA Mission 2, we're only going to use Burton. Now, Burton, he had a long vacation, he went to Italy, and he lost his veterancy status from the long vacation and eating so much pasta, so he's not looking too fit right now. So we got to get his veterancy back up. So right now, Burton is going to do a long run across this bridge here, and there's a stinger site. So we've got to take out this stinger site first. So with that, he's able to get himself to Vet 1, and once the stinger site is fully constructed, we're able to take out the guys inside the stinger. So we will take a little bit of damage, so we're down to half health, but that really doesn't matter. Colonel Burton is going to still be running at full speed pretty much, so that's no problem. And that's out of the way, take out the worker, and we're going to continue the run. So I do have some idea of where the demo traps are, and we're not even going to worry about the agents in the tent here, we're just using Burton. So with Burton, we're going to take out these sandbags and tank traps.
Let's see what you
That
got.
way we can get to the stinger site here.
This is too easy.
And we're almost dead, but we've still got a chance here. See, by taking out the stinger site, we're able to get himself to Vet 2. But we're not going to destroy the stinger site outright because of all of those units, plus the tunnel network too. Okay, so we just got Vet 2 with Burton. So the next stage of the plan, we want to get to the other stinger site. And reason being is we want to be able to sneak Burton into the GLA base without the tunnel network getting in the way. So to do that, we take out the sandbag, and then we've got a clear line of sight on that stinger site there. Now, I'm not going to worry about the one that we turned into a GLA hole. That can get rebuilt. I don't care. We're not going near that section anyway. So with that, we take out a few more sandbags and tank traps. That way we've got a line of sight on the Scud launcher too. And then we're going to also take out some sandbags near those tents there. So the tunnel did pop and took minimal damage there. And thankfully, because we're Vet 3, we can do some self-healing.
Come on, punk. I'll take anything you give me. Where are we going? Let's get to
Our
the action.
Colonel Burton has been detected.
So just like that, Colonel Burton's gotten in, we take out another sandbag, and then we got a line of sight on the Scud Storm. So that's how I took out the Scud Storm with Colonel Burton. There is another way to do it if you position yourself near where the stinger site is that we turned into a GLA hole. But I couldn't exactly get the positioning right, so this is how I'm doing it.
I'll be there.
So take out the barrel next, and that worker had a good time. And we'll take out the radar van next. So we want to get rid of the van so then Colonel Burton doesn't get detected. Now the quad cannon is also going to be a problem here because there's another radar van nearby. So Burton's going to get revealed. It is going to lure the quad cannon out a little bit more. We want to garrison this building, and thankfully the quad cannon was nice to me and it moved in close enough so then Burton could take him out.
I've seen it all.
Our Colonel Burton has
So
been
we're
detected.
garrisoning the building. Everyone else likes to come out and play, so we don't want to garrison that building too much. Otherwise, we're going to have interference from all the other units. So we take out the other radar van, and we can take out the arms dealers. We want to eliminate all the production as quickly as possible, so then those units can't get to the main base and they can't interfere with Colonel Burton as he's destroying the GLA base too.
Congratulations, General. You have been promoted.
So I just sped up this section because we're just shooting things. So there goes arms dealer number 2, and arms dealer number 3 is going to go down pretty easily. Now we've got a toxin tractor here, so we take a few shots on the toxin tractor because there's a tunnel nearby, but also the toxin tractor can get some shots off on Burton if you just keep him firing on the tractor itself. So we weaken it a little bit, that way we can go in later on. Beautiful. So it just leaves us with a command center, a palace, a supply stash, and 2 barracks. Now, GLA on this mission, they don't rebuild. So that's one very good thing here. Now we take out the Scud launcher next. See, the Scud launchers in this mission, they don't really do anything to you. So I'm taking it out anyway, just in case. Meanwhile, back at main base, these guys, they're just doing their thing. Some of them are getting taken out, some of them are actually fighting back, but again, we can't touch them, so I can't help them. Beautiful. So now just got a supply stash, 2 barracks, and that'll be the end of it. Now the infantry, we kept those guys around because they're really not a threat to Colonel Burton. And even if they were to get into main base, we've got Pathfinders nearby that would take them out too.
This is too easy.
So just like that, you've done mission 4 only using Colonel Burton. And with that, Colonel Burton is going to retire. He's had a long journey, and I think he deserves a long, hard break. So with that, we're going to go into mission 5 without him. So mission 5, general powers are allowed, and the only units that we're going to use are the 3 Humvees we start with, and the rebel ambush from the GLA command center. So with that, our objective here is we got to capture 4 missiles that GLA controls, specifically Dr. Thrax. So that's who we're going up against here. So with our Humvee, we got to move him into this GLA base here, so then we can take control of it. Now with that, we've got control of the Anthrax Bomb and the Rebel Ambush. So we used our satellite scans to reveal where the missiles are, and then we used the Rebel Ambush to take out the quad cannon. Now, there is a way to do this with one Rebel Ambush. We took out the quad cannon, that's one good thing. So with the Rebel Ambush, if you position a few rebels between the rock and the missile that's off to the right, you could potentially take out all the rebels and the quad cannons. I saw it on the channel SPL, which is a speedrunning channel. They were able to get this mission done in like 2 minutes, but they had access to everything. While we wait on the GLA general powers to be ready, we're using the Humvees to explore the map and defend the US command center. Really not necessary, we're just using these guys for entertainment to keep us preoccupied whilst we're waiting on those general powers to be ready. So let me talk about how we're doing so far with the campaign missions. So right now we've got GLA mission 5 and China missions 2 to 5 left to do a challenge on. Now those ones are going to be, I would say the China ones are going to be the most difficult to pull off, but I'm looking forward to those ones. Especially China 3, because that one's said to be the most hardest campaign mission around. So I'm looking forward to what I come up with that one. So Rebel Ambush is ready to go again. So we spawn them in behind the Toxin Rebels. And these Toxin Rebels, they seem to not really attack when you spawn them in from behind. So that way we can keep all of these rebels. Doesn't really matter if we keep them all or if we keep a few, as long as we have enough there to survive and capture these 2 missiles. That's the goal here. So with that, we gotta wait another 4 minutes for the next Rebel Ambush to be ready again, and then that way we can make moves on the other 2 missiles. But the thing is, these 2 missiles are much more well protected against just 15 or so rebels that spawn in. See, that's the thing, when it comes to speed running this, you would be using your quad cannons and toxin tractors to pick off any of the units that the GLA sends your way. But since we're just using rebel ambushes, you gotta be a little bit more strategic in the way that you spawn them in and start making your captures on those missiles. Yeah, just continuing to defend our US command center. And again, it doesn't really matter if we lose the US command center. It served its purpose with the satellite scan and the spy drone. We're able to spawn in those rebel ambushes in those positions, so we lose it, it really doesn't matter. So now we're actually going to use the rebel ambush to take out a few toxin rebels. And I thought, let's take over this garrison building. I do know the risk because there's toxin tractors in this battle, but I thought I'd try it anyway. And I decided to capture the arms dealer and try and capture the missile here, and I used another rebel to try and capture the other missile that's further away. Meanwhile, we got our Humvees picking off the toxin tractor just so we can stay entertained. So they brought out a quad cannon and a toxin tractor. So they took out the rebel capturing the other missile, and I thought the arms dealer would act as better fodder than what it was, but they had a lot of units in that tunnel there, so I wasn't able to really defend. Now, this took me a sec to twig here. I got one rebel left, and this missile is indestructible, and I was like, wait a minute, I can capture the other one whilst they're distracted. Game over. And so that's exactly what I attempted to do. I tried to capture the other missile with my last remaining rebel that was nearby, and whilst I waited, I used the Humvees to pick off this attack from the GLA, and just like that, we have 4 missiles.
Great work, General. We now have control of all 4.
So with that, we have completed USA Mission 5 only using General Powers and Humvees. So if you enjoyed this one, I do have a Command & Conquer playlist if you want to check that out. I do also have USA, GLA and China Mission 1, which was all in one video if you want to check that out too. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm Crocolo. I'll see you next time. Bye.
The cause he served, the Global Liberation Army, has once more been run to ground. Weapons of mass destruction, like those launched from Baikonur, no longer threaten the free world. By land, sea, and air, American troops head home, battle-weary but proud. And as the smoke clears, perhaps we are a step closer